And action.
See, for peak, probably hanging out at the warehouse or at FAT Studios, looking around, thinking, what can we do? You know what I mean? And I say, I want to do something kind of inspired by the movie Seven. Let's use this kind of dark, weathered studio to find a body. And I thought it'd be perfect, to come in through that metal door. Just there are horror elements about the FAT Studios. So it's very inspiring just to be there, and we filmed there quite a bit. So I just started building on that. Let's try this. Will that work? No, let's try that. Okay, let's reach out to this person. Okay, that person can't do it. Let's just keep working to get it. You know what I mean? And it's funny because I wrote it in the script that it was raining, and I figured, well, we'll just have to hose down the parking lot or something. And it turned out it rained that night, so that worked out pretty good. Ideally, what I was thinking, what me and Brian were thinking, throwing this just here, right? So when we shoot Day for Night today, we can possibly potentially get here where we don't see it shut, right? And they can emerge from around the block.
Oh, okay. So you want to start shooting the cops coming in. Oh.
And then once it gets nighttime, we'll get it open, have them come in. But I'm just thinking if we can cover all this way, just watch that, we'll try not to show that. Now when we get the balcony shot later down, when it is nighttime, we can have them come in, with it open.
Yeah. Well, the director, Michael R. Santana, and myself, man, we've been friends for a while. We're in the same kind of circles with indie filmmaking out here in the Inland Empire, and we've kind of supported each other from the jump. There'll be projects he has where I'll come on board and assist however I can. I think the first time was when he had his film Gray. They needed some drone coverage, and so I came out and brought my drone and shot some stuff for that worked out for him. And on several of my projects, he's come out and helped out. Most recently on my horror comedy film that I'm putting together, it's Lich Lord Dan and the Fall of Man. And so he came out, did some gimbal work for me, And so we, as far as a team collaborating, we had one a few months back, almost a year ago now, probably, called Playset, that he'd approached me with when he first had the idea, and we kind of talked about it. Loved the concept of it, thought it would be dope, and so in result, he ended up the director and writer, and then I ended up doing the cinematography for it. You know what I mean? And so he really liked what we were able to achieve with Playset, and so he reached out to me again, about this current idea with Peak, and was like, hey, I got this other concept. Here's what I'm thinking. What do you think about it? And I, once again, love the concept, love the idea, love where he was going with it. And so he approached me about that, like if I would be the cinematographer on that. And then that kind of led to, of course, I also act as well and have won awards for acting or whatever, done Shakespeare, whatever, all that type of thing. Even though I don't do as much acting now. And so as we got closer to Peak, he asked me if I'd be interested in playing one of the characters in that as well. And so I ended up doing the cinematography and being one of the actors in it.
Right there, we get all that serious stuff. So that way, any shots we get coming this way, we at least
That matches?
Yeah, that part matches good. Like you were saying before.
Okay.
All
right, let's block the hell out of it when we do it down here.
Yeah, and then I can set some stuff outside there too to block some more.
So I threw a card over here, Mike. So we're
Yeah, it's dark.
It's dark. Cool. James is here with lights now. What did you need to know from me first? Because I can tell you what I want to shoot first.
Well, okay, tell me what you want to shoot first.
First and foremost, I love working with Mike. He's an amazing director. I like the way his cinematography, I like his ideas, and he allows an actor to be an actor. So that's a huge pluses. What I've seen so far is I love, and the reason why I love it because it's a detective with issues. He's not perfect. He's not smart. He's not just some tough guy. He's not some super genius with a few flaws. He's an actual human being. He's battling demons, even though he's a very smart and capable detective. A lot of his issues are self-perpetuated, so he can fix it or he's his own problem. Like they say, your own worst enemy. So I love the entire script. I like what he's saying, and he's minimal. He's not a lot of words. He's not a lot of emotion. He's somebody that's seen it all, done it all, and right now he's just simply trying to solve a case. And he's got a young, capable partner that he looks to, less partner, more daughter or niece or something like that. But he admires her grit, her smarts, and he really wants to bring her along and make her a better detective. You know, not saying she's not already really good, but he's really trying to give her what he has, pass on what he's learned. So we're walking in, we're smelling shit, right? Yeah. So it's not a pleasant environment. So it's not like we're like, oh, fuck, the smell. We don't have to say it, but we can react to it. Okay, and so now we're looking. You might even ask me what you're looking for. I'm right outside the door, she's here. And am I talking to myself? Am I just remarking?
I think you're just, it doesn't necessarily have to be to her. Just say it to the room. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So,
She'll pick up on
here,
it.
the smell is fucking shit.
And then your next line is, you see that, and I think, say that, I know it's in a closer shot, but say that here as well too. Take a couple of beats and say it again to the room.
So, that. This is vile. Look at that.
All right, let's run it.
Well, I play cop on TV a lot, so it's kind of a character that I'm familiar with. So I just kind of expecting a little bit of, even playing into the scene, a little, by the books in a sense of she's obviously done this a lot, and just kind of the protocol.
And then you can make your way around here. Flash.
I love the connectivity that I feel storytelling brings to humanity. Being a part of that whole process of sharing wisdom, just challenging people's ideas, inspiring people, I think that that's such a valuable thing, and it's a great honor to be a part of it.
Oh, okay. I know you didn't want to hear.
No, that's good. That's good. Let me see it again. Okay, put it back on there.
Oh, do you want it on the?
Yeah, let me see it on the. Yeah, do that. Yeah. So tape that much on there. You can cut or rip that piece off and just tape it on there like that.
You know, it was. I mean, definitely it's interesting, man, because for me, I haven't been a part of a project before this where someone had to have any kind of extensive makeup on for any extended period of time. You know what I mean? Of course, you see it a lot of times behind the scenes, like, you know, you'll see a guy like, yeah, I had to be in makeup, you know, for, 10 hours or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And, you're like, oh, man, it sounds like it sucks, but I get it, and it worked for the film, and it's great that they do that, whatever. So I gave the cat that had to wear all that a lot of credit first off, you know what I mean? Because he literally was blind for hours and hours and hours that day, as we were making that film. And, and I thought Rosie did a great job, you know what I mean, of getting that look right and, and really making it seem like this cat's eyes had been gouged out, and the applications they had to put on and everything else. So it was pretty, when you see the images, man, it translates, you know what I mean? And that's the main thing we needed. We needed for it to translate and for people to be able to get it. And I think everyone will be able to get it, when they see it.
A lot of bathroom footage.
When I was 7, I saw The Exorcist, and I just love the makeup because the makeup back then was totally different. The technology was totally different than it is now. You know, everything was basically just done by hand, really no like hardcore prosthetics like there is now.
Right.
And then Rick Baker for American Werewolf in London, awesome.
Nice.
So they're like my inspiration for, you know, getting into, you know, horror. So like the gorier the better. Well, right now, I like everything that I do, but right now, my favorite thing is that we just did a silent black and white film called Lullaby.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about how, basically like how moms are selling their babies, you know, for human trafficking. They're selling their organs to shoot up and things like that.
Crazy.
It's a very powerful piece, and that's my favorite thing right now.
Sit. Action.
Well, I knew that was going to be our first challenge. We don't have obviously a budget to get somebody that can, you know, do some crazy stuff, but at the same time, we got resilient people around us that make things work. I reached out to 1, 2, 3 people because I didn't know Rosie at this point, you know, so I reached out to 3 people, and for whatever reasons, they couldn't make it. So talking to PRYDE, saying, hey, I want to get this shot. I got 3 examples of eye wounds. You know, he's, oh, I may know somebody. So he found Rosie, who came through, I mean, incredibly with that process. And it went smooth. It went smooth because we had everybody there. I didn't have to go upstairs on the balcony and worry about it. You were up there shooting the BTS, and you were up there overseeing what was going on. And it's just a load off my shoulders, man, to not have to worry about it, you know, and that process went really smooth. So thank you for all that, everyone that was involved with getting that done, especially you, Ralph, for sitting there for 5-6 hours, however long it was.
Going up or on?
Let me see the arm.
That's on.
Right there works. Like position. Good. You want to have them run through it?
I don't know a lot about it. I'm coming in kind of last minute, but I mean, it's very law enforcement oriented, which I have a lot of experience in. So, and I like to help out on stuff like that to make sure it looks authentic and make sure it looks real. And I'm hoping we can do this in a way that makes it realistic.
We got stairs. I got up. Copy. Let me get this desk right here.
Cut.
No, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. You know, I mean, it's, you know, one thing with a lot of indie film sets is, you know, we don't have enough hands on deck. You know, it's a lot of people wearing a lot of different hats. You know, I would say not even a lot. It's normally a few people wearing a lot of different hats, you know. And so in this case, I knew Michael had some people he already had planned to bring out, you know what I mean, or whatnot, that were going to be available. And then fortunately for me, I've kind of got a little network of people that have been on my projects and are usually willing to come out, you know, and get down with things as they come up. And so I had asked him about a few of those people who had reached out to me when they heard about this, coming on board with us also on Peak, and he was fine with that. And so I was able to help supplement our numbers with that a little bit. But, you know, once everybody got there, man, it was just beautiful seeing the synergy that took place. You know what I mean? And that's one thing for me. I'm big on, I love having people that are skilled, but I'll take a good person over a skilled person any day. You know what I mean? Because you're going to minimize any conflicts or problems, and they're going to be there to help and there to learn. You know, if they're good and skilled, even better. That's when I love it. And many of them are.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yep, cool. And then take some steps to your left. One more. Right. Yeah. So if he could stop there.
Here.
That way we can have over the shoulder and show them both, like get in position on them. All right, you know, before we cut to a different shot.
There, have your marker there. So on action, they're going to say those 2 lines, and then Sean will proceed first, land here. Dan will land here.
Yeah, and then we got them both with him in the
Right.
scene over the shoulder on it.
And then we'll cut
Yeah,
and then move to
that
the other
works.
side. All right?
Can I see both you gentlemen at the marks real fast?
But I also like playing some of the more conflicted characters because I feel like not a lot of people like to admit how dark they can be inside.
Right.
So playing those characters on screen really kind of lets me dive into just the whole psyche behind all that. Yeah.
Oh, for me. Get my focus. That's how
Do you want him to do rapid fire or have it on single shot?
No, that's okay.
You good? Okay.
Action.
My favorite thing about acting is I have done a lot of law enforcement stuff, and so I have developed this sense of trying to get it right, trying to make it look authentic. I like trying to make it look authentic. I like trying to make, I like trying to make law enforcement look good on scene. Of course, you got to go with what the director wants and what the actual scene calls for, but I really enjoy playing out my real life on scene a little bit.
Set.
Action.
And it's tragic that he lost his wife, his family, and as the script says, all he has is his 2 Labradors. But that's a man that's decided that he's better off alone than with someone because his problems will probably just drag that person down too. So I guess I can see a lot of myself in him. I won't give details, but we all have flaws and we all have ideas that if we could just have a second chance and do better, be better, than we would. And here's a man just being the best detective he can possibly be and passing on what he knows to someone he thinks can one day take his place. And so with that, you can see where this character can really go. Whether his demons resurface or he completely exonerates himself all the issues and problems that he has. We're talking about people just like you and me, and that's what makes this intriguing. It makes it great. It makes it excites me.
Okay. Can we see what you have?
So I got this one. So it's a red kind of a blouse. No buttons on this though. Some chinos. These are not real suspenders. They're just kind of a, I don't know what I had pieces of it. So I don't have anything like that.
Do you have just a regular white blouse?
I don't have white. But
Anything long sleeve?
What's that?
Anything long sleeve?
Yes, I brought these two.
What she has on is great. Her pants is cool.
Okay.
It's feeling good. It's feeling like I have a certain process, I guess, editing wise. So that's feeling pretty positive. James Hill again came with the drone footage over the building that I wasn't expecting. I know I asked him about it, but then I canceled it with him. I said, "Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that because for whatever reasons, I think we weren't going to have the car that we needed during the day for him to do that." So anyways, he came up with something totally that I didn't even think of, totally different that we're going to use. So yeah, it's going good. I got to get voiceovers pretty soon, so it's going good. It's a process. It'll be a few months, but it'll get there. And then we'll keep going, keep moving, doing something else. So
All right, cool. Thank you.
all right, man. Thank you.
My name is Ralph. I'm going to be playing the victim with my eyes popped out. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of like horror and all that. So, the whole prosthetics and the eyes getting popped out. I'm really looking forward to see, the final process of it. The final process of it. Yeah, might take a little bit. I'm down to stay in the chair, you know, get all ready for the shot and all that.
Officer?
How you doing?
Wonderful. Who called it in?
No one. It's a random check. This place has been hit several times recently.
So who is he?
Security guard. Simon Blake, 37. Works for one of the local companies.
Thank you.
Hey, buddy. What the fuck happened to you?